What is up, everyone? My name is Naveed, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera Hashgraph. This is Hedera HBAR's next 100x move, and this video is going to have everything you need to know. It's going to be exactly what I said in the title. In this video, we're going to be talking about what is HBAR, HBAR's governing council, HBAR's news and update, HBAR's market cap, price, and chart analysis, and my HBAR's price prediction. I'm going to be doing all the math, and this is not going to be any fluff. I'm not going to go ahead and cap it. I'm not going to go ahead and say this is going to 1,000,000x, 1,000x, 10,000x. I mean, I know there's a bunch of YouTubers out there, but I'm going to go ahead and give you the real numbers that I see on my side and what the charts are showing us and what literally the sentiment in the market overall, what is it showing and where is it going to lean towards in the next year, which is 2025, which is going to be the next bull run for the crypto market. So in this video, we're going to be talking about that. And if you don't know what HBAR is, it's one of the most common coins. If you've been in crypto for a while, you've definitely heard about it once or twice in your time. So HBAR is a native cryptocurrency of the Hedera Hashgraph network. It's a public distribution ledger. Hedera Hashgraph is different from traditional blockchain platforms like Bitcoin and Ethereum because it uses a unique consensus algorithm called the Hashgraph. So it's not the blockchain, which offers several advantages over the blockchain. Number one is like the speed, the low transaction fees, energy efficiency, security, and tolerance to security risks, right? So security basically. HBAR is used within the Hedera network for many purposes, several purposes, and one of them is the transaction fees and the staking, because HBAR Hedera does have a staking platform, which is through their Hashpack wallet that you can get from their website. And also the smart contracts and decentralized applications. So if you're believing, if people have ever told you that HBAR is so not decentralized, that's a lie. HBAR runs on its own algorithm, which is called the Hashgraph, right? So it's not like Bitcoin, it's a completely different thing. And I'm going to go ahead and go into detail about that, because the crazy thing about HBAR and why it stands out amongst every other cryptocurrency in the market right now is the fact that it has the insane speeds. And you might be like, oh, Cardano has the same insane speed. It has speed, but it does not have the insane amount of speed that this cryptocurrency has. Number one, HBAR can handle up to 10,000 transactions per second, which blows most traditional blockchain networks out of the water. For comparison, Bitcoin handles around 7 transactions per second, and you already know if you buy Bitcoin what the transaction fees are like. They're so insanely high, right? Ethereum, even after the upgrades, ETH 2.0, the process is around 15 to 30 transactions per second. This makes HBAR incredibly fast in real world applications, because yes, it can do those transactions much faster than any other cryptocurrency on the market, and literally probably faster than some banks out there, right? Because if you Zelle money, yes, it goes instantly. That's literally what HBAR is. So it's the other thing, really good thing about HBAR is the fact that it's super low in fees. The cost of transactions on the Hedera is a fraction of a cent. It's incredibly cheap compared to networks like Ethereum, like I said before. And the other thing, which is the number third big factor, is the energy efficiency. There's been big talk in Washington right now over the last couple of years that Bitcoin takes too much energy and is destroying the environment. This gets rid of that completely because it's extremely energy efficient. Hedera is designed to be the most energy efficient distribution ledger technology on the market, right? And no one's ever even come close to comparing to HBAR. A single HBAR transaction uses far less energy than a Bitcoin and Ethereum transaction. Hedera's energy consumption is comparable to that of a regular internet search. That's literally how it is, right? A million, trillion, billion people searching on the internet. This network can handle that kind of pressure, right? Making it the green alternative in the crypto space right now and in the past. We had 3 years since when HBAR really started taking off in the public eye, that to this day, no one's been able to go ahead and make a ledger, something compatible or comparable to HBAR. Yeah, you have ADA, you have other QNT, you have these other cryptocurrencies, but they don't compare because their applications are so small. Even Solana, right? Even though Solana is so big right now because of the meme coin market, So there's a lot of factors that play a role. And the number fifth thing that I talked about was the security. On top of everything, security is a big thing. If you really want the government to get into cryptocurrency and you want them to go ahead and find a coin that is secure than any other cryptocurrency on the market, then this is the coin, because it does meet a lot of the requirements that the SEC has set. And then it also meets a lot of the legality requirements that are set by Washington, right? So this cryptocurrency does everything in their power, the company, because it's a very multi-billion-dollar company that does everything in their power to go ahead and stay compliant, because then they can't work with their governing council, which we'll go over in a bit, because they need to stay compliant. So in order to work with them, they have contracts with these people. Hedera's, it offers a fault tolerance, you could say, right? One of the highest levels of security possible for a distribution system in the market. It can handle malicious attacks like crazy, or failures in the network, and still keep running smoothly. If there's one part of the HGraph, Hedera Hashgraph network that's attacked, or whatever happens, it rebuilds itself. The blockchain, once something is attacked, it affects everything, right? Even though it's decentralized, whatever you want to say, decentralized is still an algorithm that plays everything along, right? So now we're getting the technology and the technical terms of a lot of things, but this is more reliant and more safe, especially for those big contracts. It's decentralized. It's definitely a way information is much secure on the hashback, because no one can really hack. No one can hack it whatsoever. That's the beauty of it, right? And this is why a lot of companies that we're going to talk about love using this ledger, right? And this is going to be not a quick video, so this is going to be a fairly long one. If you're listening to this, you have to understand that you have to watch the entire thing so you can understand exactly what's happening. The sixth thing is the governance of major corporations. We talked about that, and I'm going to go ahead and show you who those people are. But Hedera's governance isn't controlled by just a small group of people. That you can say that, oh, it's just a mom and pop shop that's around the block that's controlling it. Like Lockheed Martin is not a mom and pop shop, but it's a multi-billion-dollar company. It's companies like that really form the governing council of this. So it's like a board of directors, and Hedera Hashgraph has these board of directors that are surrounded, and they tell them what they want to do, right? For example, it's run by a council of globally recognized corporations. Google, IBM, Boeing, and LG. These companies act as the governing nodes. They tell Hedera what they need and how they want it, and Hedera does it. They use their developers to use the Hashgraph network so they can use it in their systems for their security and for their transactions and internal servers, right? So this is used internally by these companies, and I'll show you, because even on their website, it's a very big company. It's a very big project. It's not just a small little developer project they just started. I've been in this space for so long that when I first heard about this was 4 years ago, and I can even show you the messages, and I am going to show you them. But these companies act as the governing nodes. They ensure the decentralized, stable governance model. Like, they're not going to be hands-on to the extent where they control your information. It's still going to be decentralized, but what they can do is they can build upon it for their own servers, so servers don't have to be on the cloud, right? Cloud takes too much space. Hashgraph can expand infinitely. It can keep growing. You don't need to go have a person there that can go ahead and code every single code or Hashgraph pack inside of the Hashgraph network to go ahead and build it, right? It builds upon itself as more developers, as more people, as more transactions happen, which is extremely well made. And it is mind-blowing when you go to the intricacies of a lot of these things. The real world use cases, not just hype, because there was hype in 2021 and 2022 about Hedera, but that definitely died down, especially with everything that happened in the crypto market. And what we're seeing right now is that sentiment is coming back, right? You have Hedera is already using, it's already used in the real world applications across various industries, healthcare, to track drug supply chain issues or drug supply in general, advertising to measure ad performance. It's used in gaming to secure in-game assets. It's also used for government purposes to secure public records, right? Not just for companies, because companies are using it to go ahead and secure their own network so they can go ahead and build upon it, so they can have an infinite amount of information just to themselves, so it's not they're not prone to attacks, because when you're that big, you don't want to be prone to attacks, and you can't just use any network. So the fact that they're trusting Hedera to go ahead and do stuff like that, and then they're pitching this to the government to go ahead and put it into everything, it's a multi-billion-dollar market just on the Hedera Hashgraph network and the total token itself. So it's not like many cryptocurrencies. HBAR isn't just like theoretical, right? Well, when you say that it could do this, it could do that, it has a possibility of doing this with this person or this company, it's not like that. They're already doing it. They've already been established, right, since 2016. They've been doing this for a very long time, almost a decade. So they have, and plus the founders, they have experience in that market, and they have these people, the board of directors, that are helping them build and expand. And this, I can see this being a multi-billion-dollar coin. Transactions on the Hedera network achieve finally, like they happen instantly. It's in milliseconds. When I do a transaction, it takes me less than a cent to go ahead and send the money. Number one, that's the fee, and number two, I can get my money within less than 2 seconds. That's how fast it is, and I've done it. I've used it. I've been looking at Hedera for such a long time, and I just thought that right now might be that time to go ahead and showcase it to everyone else, right? So going back to what we're looking at over here, what you guys see in the front, these are the logos of Hedera Hashgraph. Back 3.5 years ago, right, when I first got introduced to this cryptocurrency, it was by one of my friends. He told me to go ahead and look into it. Once I looked into it, once I researched into it, I loved it. It was perfectly made. It was everything that you would hope Bitcoin could be. But Bitcoin is such the grandfather of crypto that you can't really go in and check it, because a lot of people no one knows who Satoshi Nakamoto is, right? But everyone knows who Lehman Bird is, right? The guy who made Hedera Hashgraph. And so when you have a person like that and a team behind that, you have these big companies that are backing you, putting money into you, and using your software, your platform for transaction, it helps a lot, right? HBAR only has a $7 billion. It adds a little over $1 million every month in a 30-year period, which is true. So 30 years, it's been 20. So there's 27 years left. They add about 7 billion, or a couple, whatever, to the supply every single month, right? So it's a very unique asset that you really won't find anywhere else, and we're gonna talk about it. And when I say a governing council, this is what I would hope that you would imagine, right? That's not just those people that are on Zoom call. It's exactly what you see. Like, for example, the World Economic Forum, people are there. Hedera Hashgraph has been mentioned there. Hedera Hashgraph has been there in the Economic Forum. You have these people, these world leaders. You have these corporate leaders that surround and they talk and they have conversations. But for what we're in the purpose of, we're talking about, this is a governing council that manages HBAR and all, and they tell them what they want as a company from HBAR, and HBAR does it. HBAR helps them achieve it, right? So, yeah. So going further, right, this is the Hedera Hashgraph Network website. You can see that they have about 6.5, or you could say 6.6 million mainnet accounts created, right? This is the account that they have on their algorithm that they're using, or people are using on theirs, right? And in the last 24 hours, they've done about 105 million transactions, which is astonishing. It's mind-blowing. 106 million, you could say. Seconds to complete a transaction. At most, it takes about 2.91 seconds. For me, it's only taken about 1.5 seconds or 2 seconds. That's how fast I've gotten the money. That's how fast the transactions have happened. That's how fast, when I send it to my different wallet, that's how fast it's happened, right? And it's so cheap. Rather than, when you were like during the NFT boom, everyone remembers that when you were buying NFTs, or you were trying to do anything with Ethereum to buy these other coins, what you would have to do, you would have to pay $100 to $200 fee, and you would have to wait half an hour to 2 hours to maybe see your money in your account or your other wallet, because the network was so congested. HBAR avoids that completely altogether, right? You don't really have to worry about that at all, because instantly things happen, and it's so cheap that you don't have to stress about it. And when you look at it, this right here is the governing council, right? You have You have companies like BitGo. You have Dell Technologies. You have EDF. You have IIT. You have Google. You have LG. You have Swirls. You have Tata Communications, India's biggest communication corporation in that entire region. You have them involved in this. You have Boeing. You have Chainlink Labs. They've been collaborating with Chainlink. You have Hitachi. You have IBM, if I haven't mentioned that at all. And then you have WorldPay. You have Zane. You have Wipro, and then you have UCL. You have and the Standard Bank, and then you have the Shin Bank, and then you have a bunch of these other companies that are making the governing council for this. So it's not only the US companies, these are international corporations with these world leaders who are very powerful human beings in their own perspective, in their own regions, that have their companies involved in this. They're using Hedera Hashgraph network, and that's extremely, extremely, extremely rare to find in a cryptocurrency project. And I'm going to show you what the price is, and it's going to blow your mind, the fact that this is so low in price. And this is one of the golden gems. This is one of the rarest gems that I personally believe can be found right now in the cryptocurrency market. And you can see that it's definitely on the top 50 overall cryptocurrencies, and I'll show you all that. Moving forward, you can see that Hedera does have about 355,000 followers. It's not just a small coin. It's not really a small network. It's not a small corporation or whatever you want to say. They're managed by these powerful people, and they have a backing. They have followers. They have these people. And you can see the engagement is amazing, right? And this is just Twitter. So they have the support behind them. And then on top of that, when people like comparing HBAR, Hedera with Cardano, and this is what I would want to go ahead and tell you right now, because there's no difference. There's nothing you can, when I say no difference, you can't compare these two because they're completely different. There's no comparison whatsoever. Hedera is up and running. Cardano is perpetual development. It's consistently being developed. HBAR is ready to go. People can use it. Developers can use it. Developers can build on it, right? And this, by the way, was last year. So this was released exactly a year ago on September 7th of 2023. So this isn't that old. But when I verify this information, is exactly right? So Hedera is on the correct side of the SEC. Cardano is on the wrong side of the SEC. A lot of cryptocurrencies, if the government starts cracking down on many of them, which they have been over the last course of the year and a half or 2 years, or 3 years since the last bull run, you can see that they are very restricted about what they want to go ahead and see in a cryptocurrency project. And right now, we can see that HBAR is meeting those requirements. So what I really want to also, by the way, we know that who funds HBAR ICO. We don't know who funded Cardano's ICO, which is initial coin offering. So like how you would initial stock offering, this is ICO for initial coin offering. We know who is Hedera's governing council and what their relationship is. We can't know who, how, and what Cardano's various entities, IOGs, Cardano Foundation, are linked together, like how they're linked, who's linking them, where are they, how are they, who's making up those people, are they, like, what are they trying to do? We don't understand that. And when I looked into Cardano, I can verify this information, right? If you're watching YouTube videos and you're not verifying stuff by yourself, then you don't know what's going on. And I'm trying my best to go ahead and showcase every single thing, every single little detail about Hedera Hashgraph, because people deserve to know. So, and I do see this as the top 10 coin in the next year. And I'll showcase and I'll say everything. And by the way, if you're not subscribed already, make sure you go down below and click the subscribe button and click the like button. It helps me a lot, and I release these videos. So I'm hoping that I can continue bringing value to the community of HBAR and the overall crypto market. So that being said, going back to what we were talking about, Hedera pours about $400 million in dApp development applications on the Hedera Hashgraph network. All Cardano can do is about $27 million with their own project Catalyst, right? They're using their own little money that they're making. We have a bigger budget in Hedera, and it's gone way up since then, right? I don't have the exact number, but I can definitely verify it in another video. Hedera's development is self-sustained. It's consistently building upon itself. It's like an AI. It's like a mind of its own. You have the developers, but it's consistently improving. It's consistently becoming stronger, right? Cardano's development is soon to be financial trouble. Otherwise, why partner up with COTI, COTY, for an ADA-backed stablecoin designed to create ADA security and thus push the price up. Needless to mention that this Cardano plan was magicianly, can't pronounce, magnificent, whatever, disrupted by the SEC by naming both ADA and COTI in their lawsuits. It's nighttime here, so I'm just trying to get this video out because I really want to go ahead and provide value to the community. Following that, Cardano swore to fight the SEC at court. So there is a lot of drama when you're talking about, for example, XRP, when you're talking about Cardano. But when you're talking about HBAR, how come we're the most compliant and more, we're surviving the legal battles, but we don't even have legal battles compared to these other coins who are experiencing those legal battles, right? It has an impact on the sentiment when you're talking about the community. It has a problem amongst the people when you look at it and you see that this coin is under investigation. If you, by God forbid, you invest when it's really high and you're losing your money because of this stupid lawsuit, and then what happens? You lose your money. So the thing is, when you want to go ahead and buy into a project, you have to look into the grand scheme of things, right? Because crypto, yes, it can be a short-term gain. You can make millions of dollars. You can make hundreds of thousands of dollars. You can make thousands of dollars, tens of thousands. But in order to do that, you have to have a certain amount of conviction and understanding about what you're dealing with. And in this case, I'm trying to go ahead and present you exactly what HBAR really is. So when you're moving on, and then recently, this was the most recent news that happened 2 weeks ago. And this was what was really bringing the price down. And this was destroying the little sentiment in HBAR. And this does not have anything to do with the overall capability, because those governing council people, they're still there. They're still helping. They're still pushing. But this CEO, Shane Higdons, was doing some shady stuff in the background, and over the last 2 weeks, and 2 weeks ago, he went ahead and resigned because there were a bunch of rumors circulating that he was doing insider trading, whatever it was. Even in the cryptocurrency market, it's not regulated, so people like that can do that. So there was a lot of things going on, and then they didn't really release exactly why and how it was, what the reason was for him leaving, but theories and everything, there's a bunch of stuff out there, but the main thing was he was doing some shady stuff. And we from what we understand as the community, or from what I understand from my research, that they decided that they wanted to part ways because he was just too shady, and they did. They got rid of him, which is an extremely bullish thing for HBAR, because you don't have to worry about these types of people running a project, right? And this, over the last 2 years, was a concern that a lot of people had, and it was really concerning over this year because a lot of stuff started coming out about this, right? Because people started doing analysis. When you don't have people like this, it helps a project grow much faster and much smoother. Now, when you're looking at the market cap, like I said before, coin market cap, you can see that Hedera Hashgraph is on the top 50. It's the 42nd coin in the crypto market, right? And you can see Bitcoin's number 1, so I'm not lying there. Also, the fear index is neutral now, so which is really good. But you can see that you see a bunch of meme coins here on the top 50, but you can see that a utility token like this, HBAR, is valued so low. It's valued at 5 cents. It's down 0.30. And look, it's $1.87 billion. And you might say that, oh, it's so high already, it's not going to go any higher. Well, it's so high, how do you even see this going 10xing, 20xing? I'll show you at the end. I'm not even going to show you. I'm going to present the information to you, and I am going to do the math so you understand what this is. And I'm going to show you the next thing, which is what you're going to understand, what the entire market is looking like for 2025, right? So over here, you can see this into the cryptoverse, Benjamin Cohen. So I'm going to use his graph because it's very well made. It's very well drafted. All due credits to that man for making something so magnificent like this. You can see right off the back, crypto market cap and the trend lines. Over here in my last videos, I talked about this, but for this video, I'm going to do it one more time. You can see back in 2011, the market cap for the overall crypto market was about 106 million. Then over here at 2013, it was 10 billion. Then again, in the bull market of 2018, it was 544 billion, and it touched the green line, so it was 544 billion. And then over here recently, in the recent bull market that we had, which was about the 2021, we could see that we only reached about $1.9 trillion, right? And then again, we tried doing a bounce back and we only did about $2.8 trillion. And as you can see, as it goes up, the numbers go up because it's the game of a long term. And now what's really crazy about this is what I'm about to show you next. This is where we are right now. Right now, we're sitting at about $2 trillion. $2 trillion with a T. $1.989 trillion. You can see right here, we have a lot of room to grow. And right now, we're in a very bear market. We're not even in a bear market. We're just down because Bitcoin is trying to go in and figure out what it wants to do for the next 3 months. Historically, September is known as that bad month. And then going forward, then you have October, then you have November, then you have December. In a halving year, they're always bullish. They're always green. And this, from what you can see, we have 2025 right here. This is June, this is July, and this right here is November 2025. And what does that say? It says the highest, the upper band, the green, because we didn't touch it in 2021. So there is a possibility. There is a very, very, very good possibility that this will reach anywhere between what you got right here, which is about 20, which is the mid if you were to look at 2021, to about almost $44 trillion. You have to understand, whoever wins this next presidential election, if it is Trump, he is pro-crypto, and he has already said that he wants to go in and push it beyond that. If a person like that goes into office, you can see crypto, Bitcoin, on the Federal Reserve balance sheet. So just understand that if once the US gets into crypto and puts its money into crypto, the sky is the limit. $44 trillion. Once the US does it, US is the gold standard. Every country in the world loves following the US. So this is what you're looking at. And if the overall crypto market is $44 trillion, 100 billion, 200 billion, 300, 400 billion is very, very, very reasonable for a coin and a utility token like HBAR, right? The numbers do not lie. You can say all day and every day that it's never going to reach that, but the charts, the graphs, the numbers, the sentiment, the future is saying something completely different, and you have to follow it. Now, moving forward, now I'm going to do a quick deep dive into the Hedera chart. I was in it back then in 2021, so I can quickly go and tell you exactly what happened over there. So you can already see that over here, you had about right here. Okay. So at the very top, we had reached about 57 cents, which was a very, very big candle wick all the way up. And then from here, we failed and we went down, right? Everyone thought that we would eventually retest it. And this was the tipping point for it, because 46 cents, if we had broken that from the downward trend that we were going, because we were on upward trend right here, we would have gone up again. But there were a lot of things happening, a lot of problems with the SEC. There was a bunch of negative press going on, and Bitcoin was already at its very peak at about $70-some thousand. So eventually everything started crashing, and this went along with it, because even though you might not want to go ahead and hear this, Bitcoin is still the gold standard for the cryptocurrency market, and anything that Bitcoin does, everything else loves to do. So from here, you can see that we went down, and then we just never broke down. And since then, we have always we've literally consolidated down here around the 4 cent, 5 cent, and then at the highest, we recently tried breaking out, because this was the bear market. You have to understand, this right here was the bear market. So don't look at those numbers like that, because I know you guys are gonna say this was down over here. So what makes you think it's not gonna go down anymore? And I'll tell you why. So over here, you can see that at the very top, you had about 18 cents, and everyone was bullish. This was a bull trap. This was a bull trap. And I'll tell you, look, I'm gonna show you right here. And then let's zoom in a little bit more. Okay, now what you see right here, we barely broke through that. We had a little wick up to 18, but then originally it was about 15 cents. And then since then, we've all come down. And I'm looking at the day chart, so you have to, because this is such a historical chart. There's so much data, but it goes all the way back. And it's not that meaningful because there weren't that many eyes on it, but now there are, so you have a lot of numbers to play with. You can see that over here, we've consolidated fairly well, and this right here, which is about the 0.045 cent mark, has been a key support level for Hedera Hashgraph, which is the HBAR token, okay? And I'm using Binance for this purpose of the video. You can see that over here, you can see that we've held this. And so right now, what we would really need in order for this to go back up is we would need to go ahead and break this 6 cent mark. And then once we're above it, we would just need to hold this line fairly well. So if you're looking into getting into HBAR and you're like, I'm just going to wait until it goes up, why would you do that? When it starts moving up, it moves up very fast. It went from 7 cents all the way to 15, 16 cents within a day, right? And you might be saying it's only 16 cents. It's not going to make a big difference. It is going to make a big difference because you're going to end up buying at a price that you're not going to be happy with. So you might as well accumulate at a very low price. And obviously, none of this is investment advice. I'm just telling you what I would do. I would buy it at this price, and I have been holding HBAR for a very long time. I'm almost holding 6, 7 digits. I'm almost in the 7 digits mark, but I'm holding the high 6 digits, right? So in order for you to buy at a very good price, this is what you would really want to be looking at, this type of consolidation. It doesn't go any lower than this. I mean, could it go down to 3 cents, 4 cents, 1 cent? I doubt it. We're no longer in that type of market. You have Bitcoin reaching, which is September right now, it's the halving year, and you have a lot of good stuff that's happening in the crypto market, and you have a lot of good sentiment around cryptocurrency in general. So over here, this is probably the bottomest bottom that you could possibly get into in any coin, because the numbers are saying that this is what it's been holding, and the numbers are saying this is what it could hold. Once it goes up here, once it breaks and goes back up to the 20, 30, and 40 cent mark, and once it breaks through that 50 cent mark, the sky is the limit. It's going to hit $1, 100%. The psychological number that people are going to think is, I'm going to sell it 99 cents, and they will. But eventually it's going to build back up, and once it breaks that $1, it's going to go up even more. It's going to go up even more and more and more. And I'll go over those numbers in a second. And this was just people comparing HBAR with 8, and I just really wanted to quickly show that. But I already went over that. We don't really need to go over that at all. This is the same thing that I was talking about earlier, dual role for HBAR, network fuel, network protection. There's a lot of good stuff happening over here. Now, what I want to go over is this. Oh, wrong thing. This. Okay, now, this is what we're really looking at. And that was the other video. So if you haven't seen the Pino video where I was talking about a meme coin, that's going to be very good. You should probably go check out that video, because with that, those numbers, there's a little sneak peek, but that's what we talked about in that video. What my price predictions for that coin were. It's looking very well for a meme coin. So going back to this, HBAR's value right now is sitting at, the market value is sitting at $1.9 billion. It's at a 5 cent mark. If you were to put if you were to buy 15,000 coins, it would cost you about $750. I believe everyone who's watching this video has enough money, $750, to go ahead and put into a coin that could make them a lot more money. I think anyone has that capability of doing. If you hustle for a few weeks, you could probably do it before September ends, and you could probably hold about 15,000 coins. And I'll tell you why. Right now, 2024, it's 5 cents. It's $1.9 billion market cap. It's costing you about $750. My ultra conservative, and I'll never BS anyone in my community. I'll tell you the real numbers and what I really think. If a person is saying $8, $10 is going to go to $12, it's going to go to $30, I don't know what they're talking about. The market, yes, is going to grow to that $1 trillion mark. But if you're trying to be ultra conservative, bullish, and ultra bullish, you have to have numbers that make sense, right? Looking at historical trends. So this is going to be the realest video that you've seen today. And if you watch this entire thing, make sure you subscribe. So you can see that my ultra conservative for 2025 is $2.50. From the price that it's at right now, the value of the market cap of $1.9 billion, it's going to go up, which is a 50x from right now to $95 billion. Is it doable if the market cap of the entire crypto market starts reaching that 10 trillion, the 12 trillion, the 15 trillion, 100%. Anything is doable. That basically means the entire cryptocurrency market is going to get propped up with a lot of money, and there's money that's going to flow into other coins. So that's my ultra conservative number right there. Because when you're looking at the macro, if you take in economics, you can understand the entire shape of what and how the economy and how the market works. Right, money trickles down from the top, and if Bitcoin is getting valued at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 trillion dollars just alone in this market cap, then those people are going to cash out and put money into other projects, and that's my ultra conservative number, and that's the price that I came up with for my math. Your $750 in 2025 could be $37,000. That's a 50x. I think anyone is willing to take that type of risk, right? And also, obviously, take your own risk. Don't blame it on me if you lose money, but this, I'm just saying, I don't believe that this is a losing coin, but if you get into a wrong price, don't tell me. Bullish. My bullish sentiment for HBAR is $3.60, right? It's only $1.10 above the conservative. That's a $136.8 billion market cap of HBAR, right? Right there, you're looking at your initial investment that you put in, $750, turned to $54,000. That's a 72x on your initial investment. That beats any stock any day very well, right? You can do a lot with that money, especially if you put $750 in. That's a salary from a lot of people. My ultra bullish, my very, very bullish, conservative but bullish but reasonable number, which is 100x. It's $5. From 5 cents to $5, right? The market cap would be $190 billion. That's if everything perfectly happens, everything perfectly aligns, and the market cap of the cryptocurrency market reaches those big numbers. You can easily see this reach those big, high numbers, right? That would turn your $750 investment into $75,000. I believe anyone would be willing to go ahead and take that risk, to go ahead and make that type of money for $750, right? I'm not going to say you can turn $100 into $75,000. It's not reasonable. But for something like this, where you're holding a certain amount of the supply, and as time goes on, as the coin develops, more people will know about this coin, because once it reaches these market caps, you're going to see the skyrocket from its place right now at 43 all the way up to 20, all the way up to 19, 18, 17, 16. It's going to be on the either the top 20, which it was before, or it's going to be on the top 10. I strongly believe this is a top 10 coin of 2025. And I believe this coin is going to make a lot of people multi-millionaires, because the numbers don't lie, the charts don't lie, the information does not lie. Influencers do lie, but when you have the data to back up your thesis, and my thesis is that the market of crypto, number one, going back, it's going to reach those big numbers. It has to. And if it doesn't, it's still going to be in the 20 to 30, maybe 19 to 20 trillion dollar market. And that right there is still huge money. The US is in debt. Couple trillion dollars, $50 trillion, $43 trillion, $45 trillion. So this, that means, will make the world cryptocurrency market, because this is the world cryptocurrency market that we're talking about, because the world's money is into this. We can see it reach those prices. So that being said, I hope this video was very helpful for anyone that's looking into getting into cryptocurrencies, especially who was anyone that was looking into getting into HBAR but did not have the information about what they were looking for, and the other YouTube channels weren't talking into detail about that. I hope this video helps you. I hope this video makes you understand what you're dealing with, and I hope anyone in the bull market, if you're watching this video, I hope this helps you understand where we started and where we are. And I want you to go ahead and reach out to me. I'm going to go ahead and my Telegram is going to be in the description down below. I have a cryptocurrency community on Telegram. It's not a group chat. It's a billboard, or not a billboard, a bulletin, where I go ahead and give you updates about what's happening in the market every single day, or whenever something big happens. So subscribe to that Telegram and turn your notifications on. And if you aren't already, subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on, because I do post these types of videos every single day. Very rarely or very uncommonly, I do deep dives like this, and this video is fairly long. But I wanted to go ahead and get this information out because this is something that I can see that the community wanted to go ahead and see, but they weren't being able to go ahead and see it because a lot of these influencers weren't talking about the right stuff. And I hope this video breaks down every single detail that you wanted to know about HBAR, and it helps you understand this entire ecosystem of the hash graph and what this coin is really doing in the market. And I'm gonna go ahead and use ruler so I can go ahead and isolate each capsule. Whatever you want to watch, you can easily watch it. Everything will be down below in the description. Make sure you like and you comment. And I appreciate you. Have a great day. Thank you, guys.